Hi lads, this is the third video on quadratic functions we're going to be looking at. We're going to look at the difference between what we were doing before was factorizing and solving, okay? Usually when you factorize something, you make it look simpler. Now what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be solving, okay? And what I want to do is I want to link that then to a basic sketch of a quadratic function, okay? So if I pick any one of the questions here from your text and text handbook, page 140, and I'm going to do, say, question, just looking here, question 17, okay? So I'm going to pick a type 1, okay? So question 17 reads x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now, as soon as I put I equal to 0 in there, it means that we can solve this, okay? So I'm looking at this question here, and I know it's a type 1, okay, because there's no number in front of the x squared, so that's going to make it really easy for us. Now, this term here determines whether it's going to be positive or negative function. It's a positive first term here. If there's no number there, then it's a positive 1, so it's going to be U-shaped, okay? That smiley happy face, positive U, okay? This maintains that's the y-axis intercept, because remember, when all the numbers go to 0, when all the x go to 0, y is going to be at this number here, minus 10. Okay, so now we've got two pieces of information already. We know it's going to be a U-shaped, and it's going to intercept the y-axis at minus 10. Okay, so the last thing we need to find to sketch this is the roots. And the roots are the very same as solving for x. So to solve for x, what we do is we factorize this first of all. So this is a type 1. We open two brackets, put an x in here and an x in here. And then we look at the factors of 10 that could possibly give us 5. Okay, so I'm thinking 5 and 2, because you could go 5 minus 2 is 3. But in this instance, our middle number is a minus. Okay, so our bigger number becomes a minus. And the last number is a negative, so that means these two factors have to have different signs. So this is going to be a positive. But they've told us in the question that this question here is equal to 0. So obviously if you factorize this, it's the same question, but we just change what it looks like. It must also be equal to 0. So therefore, x plus 2 could be equal to 0. Because remember, a number by a number can't equal 0. It has one of them or both of them have to be 0 to give you an answer of 0. Then x minus 5 must be equal to 0. If you don't understand what I'm talking about here and we multiply these out, have a look back at video 2. When we solve for x here, we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. That's going to leave us x is equal to minus 2. And on this side, it's going to give us x is equal to 5. And that's our two answers there for the roots. So this tells us that the roots of this quadratic function exist at minus 2, 0. And 5, 0. So there's one positive root and one negative root in this graph. So I'm going to throw a quick sketch of this down here. Remember, a sketch is nice and rough. All I need is about 3 or 4 pieces of information to draw a sketch. So I'm going to draw a rough axis here. Okay, I'm going to say this is minus 2. That's plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, ish. And then it doesn't look right, but this is minus 10 down here. Remember that it's U-shaped, so that makes sense. And they're symmetrical. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, a root at 5, 0. We found that by factorizing. A root by minus 2, 0. Found it from factorizing up here. We knew that this last term here with no x on it is the y-axis intercept down here at minus 10. And that's 0 minus 10 because the x is 0 on the y-axis. Okay, and then we knew it was U-shaped because of the positive x term. Make sure you pause this, run through it, keep listening to what I'm saying.